Hello, friends, and welcome to the big reveal for the ITSL 2022 All-Star Series. With half the ITSL season in the books and half still to play, the time has come to reveal the 18 players who will be representing their conferences in a fight for world domination, or at least some bragging rights. This year we are split into 3 conferences rather than 2, so the captain of each conference has selected 5 additional players to match up in what we hope will be 9 classic games across the coming weeks. This year's All-Star Series promises to hold all the suspense, drama, and heartbreak of a Turn 1 IP war when the best in the world go head-to-head, and you can catch it all on Action Round Zero, Twilight Struggle's biggest stage. So without further ado, let's meet the players. First up, we have the Americas Conference, as selected by captain, world number 1 ranked, and last remaining undefeated player, Michael Stryker. In order of ITSR, Michael's first selection is César Peña. A former number 1 ranked player himself, César has jumped out to a 12-3 record this season and currently sits at number 4 in the world. Next up for the Americas is Justin Abramson, a relative newcomer on the competitive Twilight Struggle scene who just a few weeks ago captured an OTSL championship in his rookie season. Following him is Max Goldman, whose sparkling 12-1 record this season is better than anyone else in the world, other than his captain, of course. No doubt Max credits his strong start in large part to his cat Loki and his girlfriend, Burma. Right behind Max is Tim Furrow, whose 11-0 start was the story of the ITSL this year. And although he came up just short in his quest to grab the captain's armband in the 11th hour, Tim has still had a dream season and will be a force to be reckoned with come playoff time. And rounding out this year's America's All-Stars is Patrick Gong, who has racked up an impressive 13-2 record in his charge up the standings and the world rankings, where he now sits at number 31. And now, here's the lineup for the EMEA Conference, as selected by the most decorated Twilight Struggle player in the world, Captain Ziemowit Pazderski. First up is Jarib Flores. Jarib has had an incredible season thus far at 10-1, and was just edged out for the captain's armband with hours to go before the cutoff. With a number 5 world ranking, Jarib is certainly on the blacklist of players you don't want to see come playoff time. Next for the EMEA Conference is Kaiyan Fan. Kaiyan's 2020 ITSL Championship belt earned him a permanent place among the greats of the game, but he's been no slouch this season either, leading the Orléans division with an 8-1 record and winning a nail-biter of a game on Action Round Zero just a few weeks ago. Janusz Szulc takes the next spot for EMEA, and this will be his 3rd consecutive All-Star selection. His 9-2 record is good for 2nd in the Munich division, and he checks in at number 14 in the worldwide rankings. In the number 5 slot is David Erill of Catalonia. David owns a 9-3 record and a number 40 world ranking, and he is in a great spot to qualify for the playoffs with a high seed this year after a nice run in the silver playoffs a season ago. Rounding out the EMEA squad is Aran Warszawski. Aran is new to the competitive scene this year, but he has made quite a splash with an 8-2-1 record, which includes a big win in his Action Round Zero debut just a few weeks ago. And finally, the lineup for the Asia-Pacific Conference, as presented by captain and top 10 player Chen. Leading off for Asia-Pacific is Kris Wei. The strategy Kris pioneered has revolutionized the game, and many elements of it are still popular worldwide. He checks in at number 6 in the world rankings and earned a win in the All-Star Series a couple of years ago. Peter Zhao is next on the list. Peter was last year's victorious All-Star captain and made it all the way to the semifinals after an otherworldly 19-1 regular season record a year ago. Sheng Wei Qin makes the All-Star team in his first ITSL campaign with a strong 11-2 start. That record is good for 2nd place in the conference, and he sits 25th in the world rankings. Next up is Congyan Li, who is just 1 game away from a complete season at 13-6 and sits 29th in the rankings. And finally, Yuchen Zhong completes Chrome's all-Chinese team. Yuchen owns the unique distinction of being on the most fantasy teams of anyone in the ITSL with 36 selections. And with 14 victories to his name already, those who picked him are quite pleased with their choice. Congratulations to all of our All-Stars. After each game is completed, the next matchup will be announced. So now that we've met all the players, it's time to reveal the first matchup of the 2022 All-Star Series. And it's a great headliner, as a couple of top 10 players will be going head-to-head. César Peña will be representing the Americas and playing as the U.S., while Asia-Pacific captain Chen will handle the USSR, as the two halves of last year's victorious Rest of the World Conference each look to get a leg up on the other. Catch this game and 8 more just like it, coming soon on Action Round Zero, Twilight Struggle's biggest stage.